Hi.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another review video. We are the Samurai Reviews with your hosts. We have Brett and Josh. I'd just like to disclose I've had a very tough 2 weeks. I had an allergic reaction to something, is what the doctor said. So I've been coughing all the time, so I'm kind of losing my voice. I'm getting it back just slowly. But today we'll be reviewing 2 movies. We have Charlie's Angel that came out, and we're also reviewing a classic Ghibli movie called Princess Mononoke. Brett hasn't seen it. I've seen it.
Well, I've seen it now.
You've seen it now.
Yeah. I'm not just winging it. Like, It was probably okay. I don't know. It sounds all right.
But we're also reviewing that because there was a
Ghibli Fest.
Ghibli Fest, yeah. Okay, but before we get into our review, make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment down below if there are any other movies you would like us to review or just like us to change within our review videos. You can keep updated and know when we post our videos by following our Instagram page at Samurai Review 0. And last thing, this review video was brought to you by Cause You Can Production. They are a video and photo production company. You can check out their website provided in the description below. Moving on, this review video is a non-spoiler review. We will be posting later on in the week our spoiler part of the review, so stay tuned for that. And now let's talk about Charlie's Angel.
All right, so Charlie's Angels is by no means an artistic masterpiece. Again, there are better movies out there for you to see right now, but it has some good moments. It has decent action, it has decent humor, and some pretty quality actresses and actors in it too. Yeah, like I said, it's nothing crazy special or anything, but I did enjoy it. So what I compare this movie to is Hobbs and Shaw with like a mixture of like Atomic Blonde, like right in the middle of both of those, because I think Atomic Blonde was better than this one.
I actually compared it to the new Men in Black movie that came out with Chris Hemsworth, and then because I felt it wasn't an artistic movie like you mentioned, but it kind of fit the same style where there was good parts of it, and it was kind of like ripped off the older original.
It definitely the style and the storytelling is pretty similar to that. Yeah, the movie does start off a little heavy-handed with some of the jokes, and there's a lot of really cheesy dialogue. The first 5 minutes of this movie is very like, obviously this is going to be a pro-feminism movie, and it is, and there's a lot of really good feminist jokes in it that I really liked, but I swear the first 5 was just like, I get it. I understand. I don't need it spelled out for me. I understand society, but they're a little heavy-handed at first, but it does get a little better later on. So they start to catch their pace about 30 minutes in. Once they've done all the setup, it feels good. Not great, just they catch their pace. But it is exactly what you'd expect out of this movie. I would not listen to the reviews on IMDb. I do not think this is a 4. We're going to read some of them in the spoiler part as well, just because I already found one. I looked for less than a minute, and I found one where I was like, are you kidding me, dude? If you have daughters, I would definitely bring them to it. I think this is an excellent, like look at these cool women doing action-y stuff for teen range children. Sons too, honestly. I think most people would enjoy this. It's a cheesy spy flick. But yeah, it has decent action, albeit lackluster moments. But because of that, I'm going to give it a 6. I gave Hobbs and Shaw 5.5, and I felt this was just a tad better than Hobbs and Shaw. It was a little less repetitive. I think that's where it gets the extra little boost, because Hobbs and Shaw was the same thing over and over again for like 2.5 hours. and this was like similar thing over and over again for about a little over an hour and a half. So I think it's slightly better, just edges it out. Low 6, but a 6 from me.
Okay, going to me. There's kind of not much to describe this movie. If there's a good one word for this movie, I'd say it was a fun movie. That's a good word. It's fun. Like I said, it's comparable to the Men in Black movie, which I gave a 6. And I feel like it's also a good comparable movie to the Gemini Man, where it had its moments in action and comedy and just like there's
the potential of a really good movie out of it. It just kind of like falls flat.
Especially, in their style, it does have their moments too. So I'm also giving this movie a 6 because it kind of just fits that category with all those other movies that I ranked as a 6. So this movie, trying to non-spoil it for you, is kind of just follows a really smart woman who made an energy efficient kind of machine that can be hacked and used as an assassination weapon. And the agents within kind of Charlie's Angels agents must kind of stop it from getting into the wrong hands and protect this genius woman who is played by Naomi Scott. It's not,
She's my princess.
I mean, she does a great job. It's nothing like an out of ordinary kind of character or role, like as you would find with the Joker.
Well, she's an excellent actress. It's just when presented with certain writing, there's not much to be done with their characters in this. Like Kristen Stewart is a great actress as well, but again, her character is given this route, and that's all she can do with it. There's not a lot of room to play around and really get creative with it as an actress or an actor in this movie.
Especially for Naomi Scott's role. Kristen Stewart's character, though, which is the kind of like the more positive side of this movie, is the one that I really enjoyed. She had a little bit more kind of stuff to work with, and that's why she was an excellent addition. Should be commended, especially for her acting for that role as well. Other than that, the only other actor or actress that I liked was Patrick Stewart.
He has a, you don't think he's going to be a huge part of it, but he actually kind of is. And he's another great actor, but also writing doesn't give him much to work with, but
he pulls it off really well. He's a professional. And you can tell by his acting in this role. It's, like I said, it's a story that's kind of been done and adapted into many different ways and everything. So, it's just not an original masterpiece. Plus, it's it's kind of like a sequel to the older version of, like a new reboot kind of thing. And that's why it's a 6.
I think this is one of those ones that actually benefits from a reboot.
Yeah.
It's one of if you're a popular movie, you don't need a reboot because you were a good movie.
We gave it a 6, so it's an over average movie and should definitely be worth watching at some point.
After you see the 10 other movies that are actually fantastic that are out right
great,
now.
Yeah. Let's see. There's also nothing original about the action. I've never came across because it's a spy movie, there's going to be action. I never kind of came across this action sequence is amazing, like I did with John Wick or something. Camera techniques are
the same.
They're it's there. Nothing. I did like the soundtrack for it.
Soundtrack was a bopper.
Yeah, it was
straight bang.
It was good. But also kind of nothing that really kind of stood out to me where I would listen to it nonstop for
It was more like the songs in it were just good and they kind of fit the situation, whereas a great soundtrack has good songs that do fit the situation. And again, not to say that these didn't. It was just kind of I guess that works.
But that's about it for my non-spoiler part of it. There were a few character changes that I've noticed in there. Really build that relationship between these two angels. It does give you a nice twist in the end within the story.
And it can get a little convoluted, I will say. it starts feeling like they're tripping over their legs, but at least they're trying.
Yeah.
So I give them credit for that. But yeah, I do think it has enough of one, again, to give it that edge over like a Hobbs and Shaw movie. Samurai review for Charlie's Angels is a 6. Still would suggest going to see plenty of other movies out right now, but if you've seen them all, then this one is not a bad one by any means. So,
well, that's great. Moving on to our next movie that we kind of saw this week.
Perfect.